How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI. I know it's been a little bit since I've given you guys an update. We've been seeing the volatility inside of the markets. In regards to the price action, we are still trading below $10, and we still have the rest of this week to look out for, and I'm going to get you prepared. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $9.87, being up 1.54%. On the low, it tested $9.65, and then on the high, testing $10.09. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 53.183 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 72.55 million shares. So you can see we did have below average volume on the day, but we still saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 39. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So it is very clear that SOFI is in a bear market with this downtrend trading below all of our major moving averages. So what I want to see from SOFI going into tomorrow, if we end up getting another green day, you're going to want to see us actually be able to get to around $10.68. We did see a high of the day at $10.09, but if we could use that as support, then we should be able to get to around $10.68, $10.65. And if we're able to actually get to this level and things continue to look bullish, this is where I want to see if we can reclaim the 21-day EMA, which is right at $11.05. This would be a key area and will give us a good indication that things are turning around for the stock. Now, if it decides to consolidate and stay above $9.65 where it tested on the low, that is not too bad either. But if we end up breaking through this level, then the next area you're going to want to see some support is right here around $9.33. And if that level breaks, then you can see SOFI going back down to $8.82, which is right around the 52-week low. And this is also an area where I would consider adding to my position. But again, this is not financial advice, but it's a solid consideration for any long-term investors. Again, do your homework, do your due diligence. So let's see what it does going into tomorrow. But like I said, consolidation would be great for this play so it can get us ready for that next move up. So let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for SOFI. So for the off exchange short volume ratio, it is at 38.58%. And then for the off exchange short volume, it is just over 9.47 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 700,000, updated 1 minute ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.38%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 7th, it was at 38.42. And then for the close of the 8th, being at 38.58. So one thing that remains the same, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SOFI. So we see on the inflow, it's at 105, and then on the outflow, it is at 105, so even on the day. Taking a look at the breakdown, it was 3.37 on the large. On the medium, it was 63.26, and then on the small, it is 38.57. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 66.76, and then on the small, it was 38.10. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, March the 9th, it being that inflow of 3 3.37 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling, but it was fairly close. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 6.64%. No surprises for a liquid stock like SOFI. But one thing to keep in mind, we did have some resistance right at that $10 level, but we'll talk about it further inside of the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for SOFI in regards to the price action, like I was saying, we do have resistance right at $10. So the level you want to look for is at $10.65. The moment we get to $10.65, I can see more buyers wanting to step in, and then we could push this stock up to $11. And this could possibly happen in the coming weeks. If it does not happen, of course, we could see some weakness, even if it does decide to consolidate. And the reason being is we do have the Fed meeting that is coming up for next week. So keeping that in mind, there's a good chance we could visit $8.82 again. And you guys know this is an area where I'm going to be looking to add, even if it breaks through that $8 level. I'm just waiting, sitting on those sidelines, rubbing my hands together, but we're not there as of yet. But I know many of you may not be happy to hear that. You might be saying, Dre, you're out of your mind. This stock needs to run up and so forth. But that just lets you know I am not in a rush whatsoever. I'm a long-term investor. I am down to wait. As far as for the short-term price fluctuations, I'm looking for opportunities, and that is where I see opportunities near that 52-week low. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. Plus, on top of that, we have been seeing a decrease in the short volume. So what this is showing me, as far as for the overall market sentiment, it's getting a lot better for SOFI. And as an investor, that is great to see. If you are going to be trading this play, if it shows some weakness going into tomorrow, then you can look for a pullback to see if it could break through $9.65. This is very key here because it was the low of the day. So it does provide some interesting opportunities because I gave you guys what it can look like in the bullish case scenario and as well as in the bearish case scenario. So you need to come up with a game plan, do your homework, do your due diligence. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's see how SOFI performs as this week comes closer to the end. We'll be talking real soon.